Frankie is sleeping with the fishes, and with that, we're going to dive straight into the first facts of this episode, because the first fact is the title means gone fishing in Italian. Andare, Pescare. I knew Pescare was fish in Italian, so yeah, it makes a bit of sense now, doesn't it, my friend?
Permanent fishing trip for Frankie.
Yep, talking of Frankie, it's his last appearance, so there you go. Fact number 2, does he die, does he disappear, or does he go fishing? And fact number 3.
Kind of all three, doesn't it? I mean, 3 in 1 combo.
First appearance of Quinn. He's been mentioned before, but this is actually his first appearance.
Now we can finally put a face to the name.
The Nomad. Why was he wearing a Nomad patch, by the way, when he's patched into Indian Hills? Enlighten me, I need to know.
Interesting. I don't know. Maybe it's not official yet. Maybe Indian Hills are still...
Aye, but come on. Frankie's not wearing a fucking Nomad cut, is he?
Maybe he's prospecting. Well, Clay made sure he was wearing the real McCoys. Anyway, let's get into it. Frankie's last episode. Weekend at Frankie's, so to speak. We've got Clay. He's meeting with Kakuza. He's trying to catch Frankie. He needs to get to Frankie before the club get to Frankie.
Aye.
And he's pulling all the strings that he can to make sure that happens.
It's
Clay
weird.
being the sneaky little bastard that he is.
It's weird. This is like Kakuza's first appearance since like the first episode.
Yeah, very strange. Like, I'm not sure why we haven't seen Kakuza.
Remember he gave... Clay gave Kakuza all the Unsurs TV stuff.
Aye.
That's ages ago.
Unsur shipping or Unsur trucking?
Unsur trucking at the Windy.
Pretty sure it was episode 2 he'd done that, but...
Episode 2, episode 1, I mean, here it's like 50 odd episodes ago.
We got a good thing going, me and the club. Yeah, Clay.
Me and that old man, but looks like he must be laying low in Reno or Taiho. So yeah, but then Happy gets all the information, so we bring it to the table. And it's time to strip him of his patch.
It's time to vote. Let's go.
It's time to vote. Clay rocks up and is like, shit ass.
All in favour of Frankie Diamonds losing his patch, and everyone is a yay, which I don't think you can dispute.
He has to lose the patch.
I think the patch is gone. The patch is done. The patch is over. It's a patch over party, but in reverse, I guess. He's getting the patch. It's a patch stripping party. Stripping me his patch. Anyway, so that's unanimous. Then we move into the Mr. Mayhem. Jax wants to hear the pros and cons, but everyone at the table doesn't really have any pros as to why Frankie shouldn't meet Mr. Mayhem. Everything is going towards him dying. Juice was like, what we're going to do when we catch him? As if that isn't fucking obvious.
We cut his head off.
And Jax was reluctant. Obviously, he wants Frankie alive because the deal he's made with Roosevelt. But he could have done more. I mean, Jax could have definitely done more to try and persuade, or at least put his point across why he believes Mr. Mayhem might not be the best choice. But yeah, it's almost like Jax didn't want to jeopardize his little deal with Roosevelt or people finding out, so he sort of threw it out there for someone else to try and defend Frankie. But no one really did.
I guess if Jax defends Frankie the president, that looks fucking weak.
And then Jax was like, well, if no one else is going to defend him, I can't defend him.
Yeah,
slams the gavel, and it's all over.
Yeah, Frankie's made his bed, Jackie boys. He's tried to kill everybody at the table, pretty much. I mean, you know what? He has. If it was just the home invasions, I don't think Mayhem necessarily had the land, but he did try and kill Chibs and Jax.
He's done, isn't he?
The sergeant and the press guys. I can't really defend Frankie anymore, but they all vote it. They all leave. Jackson pulls Bobby to the side. He's like, "We gotta have care Frankie alive, bro."
True, but they never actually had. They didn't have a word to remember. All that shit on Frankie was just gospel.
All gospel shit. But Bobby points out, well, you know what?
The only one that can really pin Frankie down's Clay.
And that's not really
good. If he pins Frankie down, he's pinning himself down.
He's pinning himself to the wall. Double one for Clay Morrow. But
that's not a good idea.
Jack says we've got to stop Clay from blowing Frankie's head off. Bob was like, how do we stop the rest of them? Do that. I thought it was a pretty good line there.
That was good,
for Bobby. But yeah, that's a lot of moves. That's a lot of lies. So how's it going to happen? How are we going to do it? I'm not too sure. But then we get a montage of them all riding. Clay's having to let go of the throttle. Like, he's fucked, isn't he?
Well, I mean, it's believable because Clay's arthritis mitts kind of do give up on him from time to time, but
he was definitely play acting.
This time he was faking it. Like the hands gave up on purpose.
So give up your bike to Filthy Phil? No.
Yeah, would you really want that big fat ass sitting on your bike? I personally don't think so.
That's a tough pill to swallow.
But Filthy Phil rides it out for Big Clay, and then Clay gets this imaginary phone call, and it's information on where.
Well, no, I get it. It was a real phone call. It was Kakuza telling him.
I know, but he
It wasn't imaginary. It's not like he pretended.
No, but he'd already had it at that point.
Where Frankie was.
I know, he got phoned earlier. That's why he jumped off the bike. It's not like he didn't get it after he gave the bike to Frankie.
I know, filthy.
Aye, filthy. The reason he jumped off the bike is because he already found out the information.
Well, he's got the information, hasn't he?
And then he's basically right. Juice here. I just got word of wind there on a 2-second phone call where Frankie is. Me and you's going to scout it out. And Juice, just Juice is now, to me, he's never really felt like a patched member. I don't care, right?
Juice?
Aye,
fuck's sake, come on.
Nah, he's more like a prospect. When's he ever stick up to somebody?
Yeah,
why didn't he
Clay also has the leverage on him that, here, I know you're a fucking rat, so if you don't agree to help me here.
Let's say Clay doesn't have that leverage. I think Juice's ass folds, like in season 7. And
Are you Jackie Chan?
and I believe that he just goes along with Clay anyway. I don't think Juice has really got a backbone. He doesn't challenge any of the more established members. I mean, maybe try and put Filthy Phil in his place, but
that's a big place, by the way.
I just couldn't imagine Juice actually standing up and saying no to Clay.
No.
And he didn't do it here. So.
Even earlier in the season, Clay forced him to drive him to the brothel.
That's what I mean. It's not.
He didn't have
Clay's
to.
not president. At that point, Clay was hopping around like Piney with an oxygen tank, and fucking Juice still couldn't say no. And Clay didn't have this leverage over him. So
Did he say no in season 7 though?
No.
No means no. Anyway, right, Juice, R.I.P. soon enough. But yeah, him and Clay.
Soon enough. He makes it almost to the end.
He does, to be fair. Well, I mean, his arse doesn't. But him and
his arse gave up a wee bit early. But
him and by Marilyn Manson. Anyway, right, Juice and Clay are going to head to the cabin right now. But,
what a weird bastard, by the way. But anyway,
Marilyn Manson. But anyway, Jax, they meet with Quinn. A boring bastard, not weird, boring. He's like, sorry, but Hope couldn't make it.
What cast sounds shite. It's not like it's a dinner or something. Sunday dinner.
I know, but if he appeared, everyone would be like, he's back. He's no dead. He's
nah, that's poor for Quinn. He should have came down.
It's a piss-ass excuse, isn't it? He should have just said sorry for your loss, not about I couldn't make it. What were you doing, mate?
It's like Kevin Nash ass thing,
Was he super gluing the Nomad patch?
Make it?
Was he super gluing the Nomad patch clean onto him again?
They don't super glue them, they sew them, mate.
I know, but his isn't coming off, so he must have super glued it. Gorilla glue. Anyway, right, they go to a restaurant, Leo Pirelli's. I wonder if there's any relation to Pirelli the tyre. That's where he gets all his money from. I'm not too sure. But then we get a wee...
We get your classic SOA fight, and that's the one thing I just don't like about Sons. I know you've said it could be biker culture, but
I think it is.
It just seems like... I think it loses its appeal when you see it so often. It's like anytime the Sons go into a bar or like a hotel or a building or anything, and there's like another group of guys, you just know it's going to lead to... Even that time they went to confront the kids in the orphanage, man.
That was the worst one.
They're brawling inside an orphanage and shit.
That was the worst one.
You got wee babies screaming and you've got the sons brawling on the floor. It's like, what the fuck is this?
I thought that was the worst one.
Anyway, I'm not a big fan. I get it. Like even like the time that Opie, they go to see the Chinese and Lila's getting fucking bummed by some Chinese dude or whatnot. Well, she was just sitting on his knee, but Opie read into the future. He knew it was going to happen. And like, he freaks out. I get that. But like,
it's not Lila, it'll be Juice.
why does it lead to an entire breakout? You know, I think it would have just been better if you just seen Opie fucking toss a couple of wee 5-foot Asian guys through the air. I think that scene would have been more impactful, and then the club have to restrain.
Well,
Opie
Clay and Henry Lynn didn't jump in, did they?
I think it would have been better though if we seen the club having to try and every member's having to try and hold back Opie rather than just, oh look, Opie's punching some Chinese people, so let's have a massive brawl for all. I just don't really like those scenes.
You know what, right? I don't like them either.
Have I got a fair point there?
No, you do, absolutely do.
Do you think that scene with Opie could have been better if it was just
But
Opie
no,
getting
but it's like biker culture. I think that's what it is. I'm not defending it, but I think that's what it is. And here, it's not every episode. You probably get to like every 7.
Every fucking other, every second episode?
No, it's not.
The only thing we haven't really had is the Sons going into Unser's police department and fucking fighting with all his guys. Hale and what's that woman called? Egley. And what's the other one called?
Kane,
aye, those guys. I mean, that's the only thing we haven't really seen.
Anyway, right, shall we talk about Leo Pirelli ringing the guy beside Frankie and Frankie kills him? Why'd this guy reveal everything?
Yeah, what a donut. Why didn't he just keep it cool?
He stole $500,000 from me and my associates.
Or
Jax had a lisp in that scene. I don't know what the fuck he was playing at, by the way.
or if you're going to reveal the information that you're revealing, like at least have Frankie at gunpoint or restrain him or something, or
Yeah.
cuff him or be like tie him up.
What does he think Frankie's going to do?
He's just sitting there casually. Hey, Frankie, you lied to us, man. That's not good. And then Frankie just gets up.
Aye, but he also tells him, well, those somebodies are on their way, referring to Sam Crow. That's the last nail in the coffin.
Does he think Frankie's just going to sit there? And you know what? I actually feel bad here for Frankie because Jax did outsmart the Pirellis here.
All four of them.
And, you know...
Super soft fucking retards.
He lied about the amount of money that Frankie stole for the club. Therefore, they thought Frankie was kind of like underselling them with the amount of money that Frankie was getting. But Frankie legitimately... I mean, Frankie stole that money in the watches. It's not like he's making any money or profiting. He fucking gave almost every single penny here to the Italians, and then they rob him. I don't think that's right, man. Whatever happened to keeping your word? If Frankie gave these guys their money, I think they should honour it.
No, they should, but you've got to look at it from their point of view. They think Frankie's jobbing them out of like 300k.
Is that not for them to just say to the sons, look, we don't know where he is, and then confront Frankie about
Money
it?
talks, bullshit walks, alright? Know your role, that's pretty much what happened here.
I know, but I just think...
Clay doesn't care what money's on the line, though. He's here with Juice.
His head's on the line, so he needs to make sure.
He sends Juice to like the back door. Any joke in there? No, right. Anyway, Clay goes to the front door. Juice goes to the back door. Frankie's spraying at them. They're spraying at Frankie. Clay then decides, you know what? Fuck this. Puts a brick on the accelerator. Rams the cabin. Frankie does a swanton bomb across the cabin.
Almost breaks his neck.
Juice is spraying through the window. You've just got so much going on here at this point. Jackson and Co see the explosion. They speed up. Juice then walks in through the door.
Frankie at gunpoint.
Frankie's great, and he's like, he put this whole no-mad shitstorm in motion, brother.
Then Clay walks over like the fucking Terminator. Arnold Schwarzenegger.
He barges the door in, and the door like hits him back, and he just like...
Move out of the way, Juice.
Yeah, Frankie's... But then, Juice is a rat, right? Jack's using Juice here, I think's a pretty much a no-go. Do you not think so, like, what the future episodes hold?
What's that got to do with this?
No, I'm just talking about it.
Well, let's not.
Alright, let's not talk about it. We'll get to it in future episodes. But essentially, Jackie Boy walks in with Leo Pirelli. What's Leo Pirelli do?
Oh, he looks...
Nice to see you, Frankie. That's Chibs, but yeah.
He looks to see one of his guys lying on the couch with his head blown off, so he decides to blow Frankie's dome off, and that's pretty much it. Jax looks on thinking, fuck, I needed him. And Clay secretly thinking, this all worked out well.
It did work out well. No,
Clay came out smelling roses.
The relief in Clay's arse. He went from like 6'5" to about 5'11".
It was like when they stole the election after Trump.
Oh, it was brilliant for him, wasn't it?
Yeah.
And then like they kind of just agree a deal here. It was like, all right, we don't have to give you anything, and it covers the cost of the cabin. I mean, hold on here. I think Sam Crow's been fucked. Have they not?
How?
Because they've lost all the money. And they wanted Frankie alive, and they've killed him. Well, Jax has been fucked. Maybe Sam Crow.
It's not the Pirellis. Well,
he fucking killed him. It's his fault.
Aye, but it's not. I mean, it's not their fault that they stole the money and gave.
Do you reckon the cabin costs?
Well, hold on.
Do you think the cabin costs $500,000?
Aye, but it wasn't $500,000.
Aye, but Pirelli thinks it's $500,000.
But they didn't get $500,000.
I think that's why Jax agreed to it. No one, because Pirelli thinks.
So
Pirelli thinks Jax is leaving $300,000 on the table.
So you want the Italians to pay money that Frankie never even gave them?
Yeah, but...
No, but they didn't get the money, you know? So you want this guy to give Jax $300,000 that he never received off Frankie?
Right, but do you think this guy's thinking, well, hold on, where'd Frankie put the other $300,000 then? If he only gave us 130 and some watches...
Well, maybe the Italians...
No, but does that not dug Jax a hole?
Well, maybe the Italians will stop...
What if this guy turns around and says to... Well, hold on, if he stole $500,000, where's the $300,000?
Well, maybe the Italians will stop making pizzas for 2 minutes and they'll go out on the search for the rest of the remaining money.
Are we thinking too much about this?
You're definitely thinking too much about it. Obviously, that money's gone. Frankie's saved it or...
No, this money's non-existent.
Aye, but the Italian guy doesn't know that.
Like, may as well. Anyway, Jack shows up. He tells Clay, how'd you find him? And then Juice give like this like bullshit excuse, and Juice is like, had to check it was real. It was very real. Then he tells Quinn, have you got a truck we can haul Frankie back? Why is anyone quit? Why do we need Frankie's body? I'll just fucking bury it in Checker Woods or something. Big Frankie.
Maybe, I don't know.
You know what? I thought the first 20 minutes of this episode was like non-stop. But then it kind of just...
Stopped.
It kind of did stop. You've got Tara going to Otto. I mean, he's greeting about Leanne.
It doesn't really do anything for me.
Yeah, I get it, right? It's a big deal in terms of Rico, but...
I like Otto, but these scenes just...
Yeah, it's probably his weakest season for me.
I'd say so.
I know he's about to do a whip out a crucifix very soon, but again, I like Otto when he's killing people and biting his tongues off and shit like that.
Yeah, this Otto moaning about, crying about Luan and stuff. It just didn't really do it. Oh, put the perfume on your wrist so I can smell it. It just didn't really do anything for me.
Aye, right. Bobby then goes to get the money for Skeeter out the safe. Clay's sitting in Piney's seat.
Skeeter must be rich with the amount of people the Suns kill.
He fucking must be, like... No, but he has pretty much a lot of leverage on them. See if he ever wanted to rat. The amount of dead bodies he's burnt.
I'm sure he'd be adding one more to the pile if he did that.
Bobby says to Clay, have you got anything to share? He's like, my conscience is clear, Bobby. And he's like, it never got in your way, did it? And then he looks at the president's seat. Bobby's like, you want that back? Clay's like, I thought I did. He's like, is that why you said the nomad's in motion? And Clay's like, if that was a real threat, you wouldn't be lobbying me as I walk out the door. Bobby says he's sick of burning friends.
Lobbed it like a grenade.
He did. He lobbed it like a fucking grenade off the back of his dome. But Clay says that the seat's corrupting Jax, and Bobby's like, it ain't.
Corrupted you, didn't it? Fuck.
That's what he said, though. He says, it's that seat. Is too much being led into the seat? Or is it the seat?
No, that's passing the buck. That's weak. Got to take responsibility. Can't just blame the fucking seat. Was JT a wanker as well? I mean, come on.
Yeah, no, I think you've got to be real about it, because with Jax, I think he's had a lot of, unfortunate situations. No, when Clay inherited the seat for JT, everything's going his way. He's got guns, he's got it going the way he wanted it. Jax has been dealt a shit hand where he has to keep this guy alive. His best friends died like 2 weeks into the role, and he has to do this IRA cartel deal that he never wanted.
Although, with hindsight, we look into the future. Chibs gets into the seat. All of a sudden, stays in the guns a lot longer than they were supposed to. And then he basically doesn't even bother getting revenge when a brother gets shot up inside a cabinet in the middle of the fucking...
What's it with cabins in this show?
A cabinet in the middle of the bloody forest or something, or the desert. So, yeah, I mean, Chibs stuck around. The Suns pretty much stayed in the gun business to make a bit more money. They can talk about the transition, but load of shite. And then Happy dies, and they didn't exactly go... They couldn't even be bored getting revenge. Quinn was like, Happy died, but so what? You guys kill each other.
You guys kill each other more than we do, I say.
So, I mean, what's happened to the club since Chibs took over? Not to use Pish Mayan's writing, but, go ahead.
See, if we ever get a sequel, they're going to have to do something there.
Alright, we can put the blame on the Mayans for Suns not getting revenge or not even doing anything about Happy. But Kurt Sutter was the one that wrote it when he says about the transition took longer, so therefore it just makes the Suns seem like they were being greedy and they wanted the...
No, but I think that backs up his decision of Jax wanting to get his sons and family away from Sam Crow. It could never purely ever be good.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, as soon as Jax pretty much had to set up the deal to get out of guns, but it seems like when Jax dies, the Suns stay in guns a lot longer than...
That's what Jax Teller would have wanted.
They need it to. Right, because even you've got Chucky questioning, like, what happened here?
But, I mean, it's not a plot hole because they're acknowledging it, so I think that's why
it's not a plot hole, but what I'm saying is, like, you say the seat corrupts, I mean, maybe it corrupted Chibs.
Maybe it corrupted Chibs, but, yeah, I mean, in terms of the Mayans, I think if we ever get a sequel, right, they're going to have to acknowledge that straight away. They're going to have to be like, yeah, we went to get Santa Padre, but by the time we showed up, the ATF had eliminated them. Do you not think that's going to have to happen?
But they weren't doing anything. Quinn was working on his bike.
I know, but...
Oh, it was a we were planning it, we didn't want to rush into things. Fuck that. Anyway, back to this episode.
Back to this episode.
I mean, that's pretty much it. Jax meets with Roosevelt. Roosevelt thinks he's hit the jackpot. He thinks he's getting Frankie alive, but Frankie's in the back seat dead. Jax then all of a sudden
play weekend at Frankie's.
Turns the table on Roosevelt. He wants to know who the rat is. Roosevelt's like, I don't want to see anyone else die here. I'm not going to give you the name. But Jax pretty much already knows the name at this point. He just wants Roosevelt to confirm it because, I mean, it is true. You look at everybody in the club and there's just certain people that wouldn't rat.
No.
And unfortunately, there's kind of only one person left that would rat or has got anything that they can rat about.
Yeah, you've got to look. I mean, Jax says...
I think the only other person you could have blamed was Miles. And considering he was stealing the cocaine... I mean, it would maybe make sense for him to be the rat, but does it add up?
But see, no, if Roosevelt could have said, "Here, the rat was Miles." Maybe just. But see, Roosevelt could have backed Juice up here. If he actually turned around and said it was Miles, that would have been believable. Because, like, I mean, I think Juice trying to hang himself because he killed a fellow brother is still believable with the rat storyline. But obviously, Roosevelt confirms it's Juice, so.
True, but did Miles die too early in the timeline for it?
I guess he could have given them enough info about the cult and shit.
True. Anyway, Jax pretty much knows it's Juice.
It's not Tig, it's not Chib, it's not Happy, it's not Bobby. Prospects don't know Dick. Phil, he was a prospect at the time, didn't know Dick. Puff of cereal bowls. Clay, not enough to gain. Why would Clay have a rat as Prez?
Juice knows Dick and he takes Dick.
Yep. And that's pretty much it. So the guy tried to hang himself a few months ago. And then what happens? We get the wee ending scene. Clay, he's looking at Gemma, he's getting his hands done. Juice is all happy.
Yeah, so Gemma turned around and says to Jax, I need to know that this is real. If I be with Clay, if I get the information, I need to know that my grandsons, I'm going to have guaranteed access to them. And,
But Nero did buy our birds, which made her go, oh, well.
And Tara says, yep, it's real. I mean, I don't know why Tara's so hell-bent on Clay getting taken down. I can understand Jax for a personal reason, but...
Maybe she just means, you can fucking see your grandchildren.
But I don't know why Tara would just be happy for Gemma to come back into their lives just because Jax gets Clay out of the way. That doesn't stop the way Gemma's been behaving.
Guess we did have that scene.
And Tara doesn't really like Gemma in general, the way she controls and manipulates.
True. But that's pretty much where it ends. Juice drives off as we see a car following Juice, and it's Jax. And again,
Jackie boy!
if this is back, 12 years ago, it'd be great. Oh, is he going to kill him next episode? But,
Fortunately.
we all know what happens,
Yeah.
so... He gets him bummed. Anyway, he doesn't get him bummed. Anyway, MVP, we're giving it to Clay Morrow. I don't know, I think the first 20 minutes, Clay was on a fucking mission.
Yeah, Clay was on a mission at Frankie's.
And the quote was... We could have gave it to a bunch of people, but we said, Frankie's made his bed, Jackie boy. So, yeah, that's the quote.
Maybe Bobby should have won it.
Bobby could have won
What
it.
the hell do we stop the others?
I mean, I thought the first 20 minutes were really... I thought the first 20 minutes were fantastic, how quick it was. I thought the scene with Roosevelt was good, and I also liked the scene with Bobby and Clay at the table, but I think the rest of the episode is a bit weak.
Yeah, unfortunately it was weak. I'll get... I thought it was a great... I'll get an 8.
I'll get in it. I think the first 20 minutes, you're like, fuck, this is one of the best episodes this season, easy.
Yeah, I think it could have been a 9 without the... I don't know, some of the auto stuff with Tara was a bit weak. Didn't really care for it. But yeah, I think that kind of dragged it down a little bit. But first 20 minutes, action-packed. You felt like it really was a race. You felt like time was ticking to get to Frankie. And then I enjoyed the Jax and Roosevelt meeting. And then it ends on a really good cliffhanger with Jax following Juice. And, some shows just know how to end an episode and some shows do not. But I'm not going to bury The Sopranos here on an SOA video. So that's it. Catch you in the next one, guys. 8 out of 10. Till then, peace.